3rd and 1. Push, Hurts forward. He's got the first down. And the Eagles are going to win this game.
The Eagles beat the Chiefs in Week 2 and finally hold a winning all-time record. Their 640-639-27 mark is something the franchise hasn't seen since 1933. At the same time, front office moves are reshaping the roster. In Green Bay, Christian Watson says he won't return from his ACL tear until he's fully ready, even after signing an $11 million extension. Does a fast start mean more than a careful comeback? The Eagles' Week 2 win over the Kansas City Chiefs gave fans plenty to celebrate, and simultaneously, it held a significance that went beyond the night's score. For the first time in the franchise's 92-year history, Philadelphia's all-time record now sits above .500.
Gets away from it, drops the ball, picked up by the Eagles, and what a wild start as Grant Calcaterra picked it up to save the
The team's overall mark improved to 640-639-27. Theoretically, that may seem like a minor adjustment. However, for the franchise, it represents a milestone nearly a century in the making. The Eagles entered the NFL in 1933, and their first season ended 3-5-1. That losing record created an early imbalance that lingered for decades. Even during years of success, that hole never fully closed. From the 1940s through the early 1960s, Philadelphia posted stretches of competitive football. Those include 3 NFL championships in 1948, 1949, and 1960. Nevertheless, those highlights were followed by long rebuilds and losing periods that erased momentum. Through the 1970s and 1980s, the Eagles had playoff appearances, but also double-digit losing seasons that made the climb back to even more difficult. The modern turnaround can be traced to the last decade. Since the 2017 season, Philadelphia has reached the postseason 7 times. The run includes Super Bowl 52, where the Eagles captured their first Lombardi trophy, and Super Bowl 59 earlier this year, when the franchise made its 4th trip to the title game. The only gap in that stretch came in 2020. That year, the team finished 4-11-1 because of injuries and instability. Entering the 2025 season, Philadelphia was within striking distance of its all-time record. Beating the Dallas Cowboys in Week 1 pulled the mark, while a win against the Chiefs in Week 2 officially moved the Eagles into positive territory for the first time. That single result carried history on its shoulders, yet the reactions afterward showed how quickly fans jumped from record books to the energy of the moment. The Eagles' win over Kansas City in Week 2 was less about spectacle and about keeping control of the game and limiting mistakes. The score reflected that. Adoree Jackson delivered the night's turning point. His 4th quarter play broke up what looked like a drive headed for the end zone. Evidently, that single stop kept momentum on Philadelphia's side and denied Patrick Mahomes the chance to pull even. The defense as a whole did its job. Kansas City finished with just 1 touchdown, which is a rare sight for an explosive offense. Mahomes had to settle for short throws. In fact, he failed to find space beyond the coverage. The pass rush made him move early, and his rhythm never clicked. On the other side, Jalen Hurts managed the game patiently. He protected the ball and strategically extended possessions when needed. His post-game comments matched his play. He spoke about winning through steady decisions rather than chasing highlights, and that is exactly how the offense functioned.
You know, given the competitive nature of the game and how our games have gone when we play this team, so it's a really good team. We got a ton of respect for them, obviously, but you got to come in with a sense of focus. You got to stay patient within yourself, stay patient within the team and your role, and let things come to you. And I think as a team, we showed up when we needed to the most, and that's the most important thing.
Saquon Barkley added an edge on the ground. He didn't light up the box score, but his runs encouraged the Chiefs to respect the threat of balance. That opened space for Hurts and kept Kansas City's defense from loading up.
That was a mindset. We knew it was going to be a dogfight. We knew we were going to have some adversity. You got to give your hats off to Kansas City, Spags, and the defense. They're a great team over there. But the goal was to come in Arrowhead and get a win, and we found a way.
You had to know
Special teams closed the gaps. Jake Elliott's field goals padded the lead and changed Kansas City's approach in the fourth quarter. A pair of errors on the Chiefs' return unit also gave Philadelphia shorter fields, which turned into points. The loss pointed to issues for Kansas City, which went beyond the scoreboard. The offensive line struggled against Philadelphia's front. Penalties at crucial moments set drives back. Also, a handful of drop passes wasted Mahomes' best chances to build rhythm. On the other end of the spectrum for the Eagles, the victory was their third straight win over Kansas City, including February's Super Bowl. The streak won't change the trophy case, but it does highlight how Philadelphia has matched up well against one of the league's most dangerous teams. More importantly, it showed the Eagles can dictate pace against an opponent known for taking games over late. The Eagles front office didn't spend the week watching quietly. Howie Roseman kept the roster in motion by adding experience and testing trade markets. The biggest confirmed addition was Zadarius Smith. The veteran pass rusher signed on after spending last year in Cleveland and gave Philadelphia another option on the edge.
From all the guys, man, and they're bringing a lot of guys back, man, especially for the guys in the inside, man. So they're working with JC, man, and a lot of the other guys, man, and we just been coordinating our rushes with each other, you know, running games together at practice today. So look good, for sure.
Were you always planning on playing this season, or was that a consideration?
Oh, no, I was playing for sure. Yeah. I'm not hanging it up yet. I see where you was going with that. But nah, man, I got a lot more left in the tank. I played football. I started my senior year in high school. So it's like I'm still young in the game, man. So, yeah, I got a lot more left. Don't put that one on me.
His arrival sparked jokes online about the Eagles reuniting players from past stops, but the move fits a familiar pattern. Roseman prefers to stack depth at premium spots, and Smith brings production that can rotate with younger linemen. Since the Chiefs' offensive line was already exposed, the signing underlined where Philadelphia wants its strength. Another move followed days later. The Eagles acquired running back Tank Bigsby from Jacksonville in exchange for 5th and 6th round picks in the 2026 draft.
Philadelphia Eagles right here. This is from Mike Garafolo. The Eagles trade for Tank Bigsby is in part due to a need for another kick returner, sources say. He'll be in the mix for that role with Will Shipley, who had one return against the Cowboys. He's dealing with a rib injury. Garafolo also followed up just on how important the kick return is being viewed right now by teams with the change in rules. But
so,
Tank Bigsby, you drink for free.
Yeah, I mean,
nothing against Jacksonville, but
no, right? But you wake up, you know, in Jackson, you go to bed thinking you remember the Jacksonville Jaguars.
It was a small trade on paper, but it addressed two immediate needs. Rookie Will Shipley is sidelined with a rib injury, and the team needed someone behind Saquon Barkley to share carries. Bigsby's history proves he can handle that role. He produced 910 rushing yards and 9 touchdowns across 34 games with the Jaguars. He also adds value on special teams, where he is expected to take kickoff returns. The reaction from fans was mixed. Some called Bigsby underrated depth, while others focused on whether Roseman has another bigger move lined up. That speculation triggered for a reason. Reportedly, earlier in the offseason, Philadelphia had tested Dallas about Micah Parsons. The Cowboys shut the door, but the fact that the call happened points to Roseman's willingness to chase bold targets. More recently, attention has changed positions. An ex-Saints edge rusher has been linked to the Eagles, while some believe Cooper DeJean could slide into the CB2 spot if a trade is made to balance the secondary. These aren't confirmed moves, though. The point is that the front office has signaled a transparent approach. This roster already looks strong enough to compete deep into January, but Roseman is working as if more pieces are still needed. That urgency mirrors the way the team has started the season. The Eagles are 2-0, and the general manager is acting like 2-0 isn't enough. Elsewhere in the league, the conversation went beyond roster additions and wins. While the Eagles made noise with wins and roster moves, Green Bay's focus stayed on wide receiver Christian Watson. He tore his ACL on January 5th against the Bears, and it's been 8 months, but he's still out. He opened the year on the PUP list, which means the earliest he can practice is after Green Bay's Week 5 bye. Watson says he'll be ready to go when that window opens. "I've got to be 100% Christian Watson before I get out there," he told reporters Monday. "Not 90, not 95.
the speeds and just like playing fast enough to go to get the clearance from the medical staff and everything, and just obviously for my confidence sake too. I got to be able to play how I need to play or how I want to play on Sunday to go out there and do what I'm trying to do. So it just didn't get there, unfortunately, and it was not feeling the way I wanted to after practicing for 2 days.
That's a change from the past. Watson came back too early last season after a left knee injury. He sat out week 17 against Minnesota, then rushed back for week 18. A few weeks later, he blew out the other knee. The Packers gave him a 1-year extension in the offseason. It's worth $11 million with a $6.1 million signing bonus and $1.85 million tied to per-game roster bonuses. The deal takes some pressure off. Without it, he'd be fighting for free agent value this fall, but now he can afford to wait. Watson has missed time every year since he was drafted. 3 games in 2022, 8 in 2023, and 2 more in 2024. Before the ACL tear, he says this comeback needs to be different. The goal is no setbacks and no mornings where the knee feels worse after practice. Insiders believe that his return would be a major boost for Green Bay. Watson's speed changes defenses and stretches coverage in a way no other Packers receiver can. Jordan Love made strides last season, but without Watson, the passing game has lacked a consistent deep threat. The contract bought the team time. Now it comes down to whether Watson's body holds up once he's cleared. Week 2 is in the books. The Eagles took a step forward. The Packers are waiting on one. The rest of the league is watching both. Will the Eagles keep building on this start, or will Watson's return steal the spotlight? Drop your thoughts and hit subscribe if you haven't already.